Hello everyone. Today we will be breaking down the process of writing a research article from start to finish. Writing a research paper can be challenging, but understanding each step can make it much easier and even enjoyable. So, let's dive into the basics of crafting a strong research paper or research article. So, before we study how to write a research article, we will discuss some basics of crafting a strong research paper. So first important point in crafting research paper is identifying your research topic and objectives. Choose a topic. Your research question should be specific, relevant, and have the potential to offer new insights in your field. Define your objectives. After finalizing the topic, outline the main goals of your study and why it's significant. Are you testing a hypothesis or exploring a new research question? Having a clear objective is a key to research. The second important point is conducting literature review. Start by gathering research. Look up existing studies that relate to your topic of interest. You will want to understand what's already known and where there might be gaps. Organize the information to create a coherent background for your own study. This will serve as the basis for your introduction section. Then the next point is designing the study and outlining the methodology. Develop a study design. Decide whether your study will be observational, experimental, or descriptive. Decide on how you will collect data and analyze data. This includes specifying techniques, sample collection, procedures to follow, etc. Write your methods in a way that allows others to replicate your study. Once the experiments are done, the next important point which comes, it is collecting data. Stick closely to your methodology when collecting data. Keep all careful records of all procedures, including any changes if you are doing from your original plan. So record keeping or data recording is very, very important. After data collection, the next important point which comes, it is data analysis. Choose the appropriate statistical methods for your data analysis. If you're not sure, consult a statistician. He may guide you. Use tables, graphs, charts to logically organize and highlight your research key findings. Then, after data analysis, the last part which comes, it is writing article and submitting it to a journal. So once you have completed your research, it's time to write up the article and submit it for publication. So in this particular presentation, we will be seeing through the essential parts of APA style research article. So now we will see how to write a research article in APA style. APA style generally includes specific sections while writing a research paper. Those specific sections are as follows. First is title page, followed by that abstract, introduction, materials and methods, results, discussion, and references. So let's go through each part and we will see some important points need to remember while writing each and every section of this research paper. So the first important section which is there, it is title page. So always remember your title should be concise. Aim for 10 to 12 words and make sure it communicates the purpose of your study. List the authors in order of contribution formatted as first name, middle initial, and last name. Note the author's institutional affiliations to show where the research was conducted. So, for your reference, this one example of a title page is added in the presentation. After title page, the next section which comes, it is abstract. So what is abstract? The abstract is one paragraph summary of your entire study. So you can see in the presentation for the given research paper, the abstract is mentioned. Your abstract should answer following 5 questions. What is the topic? What question did you address in the research? How did you approach the research? What were your main findings? And lastly, what do the results tell us about the topic? So these 5 questions should be answered in the abstract which we write for any research paper. Followed by abstract, the next key point which is highlighted here with yellow highlighter, that is keywords. What are keywords? Keyword in a research paper abstract are specific terms or phrases that capture the main concept of the study, aiding in indexing and retrieval in academic databases. Here are some tips which I would like to give for selecting effective keywords. Choose terms that are directly relevant to the study's primary focus areas. Include key concepts and the main variables or subject areas. Use commonly accepted terms in your respective field. So, for the given research paper, as you can see, the research was done on the plant Ebilmiscus muscatus. So, that plant scientific name is one of the keyword. Then in this research paper, they studied about silver nanoparticles. So the silver nanoparticle is another keyword which can be added below the abstract. Apart from that, if you go through the abstract, they have studied antimicrobial activity of synthesized silver nanoparticles. That's why the antimicrobial activity, the word also has been included. Then after keywords, the next section is introduction. So introduction is the section which establishes the purpose of your study. In this section, following three questions answer you should always write or you should always include. The first is, what topic or phenomena are you investigating? Define key terms and also provide examples related to the topic of investigation. The second question, what did other researchers find about this topic and how did they study it? And to answer this, summarize previous findings to help readers understand what we know so far. The third question, what remains unanswered? Formulate your research question and explain your research approach or study approach to find out answers which is not yet known. After introduction, the next section, very important, materials and methods. The goal of this section is to allow others to replicate your study. This section includes materials, which mainly consist of list of specific materials including reagents, chemicals, microorganisms, instruments, etc., as well as methods in which outline each step of your experimental procedure in detail, such as temperature, time, concentration, which has been used for that research. Whenever we write materials and methods, some other points which we should remember, they are nothing but be precise while writing materials and methods, but write it concisely. Avoid excessive details while writing materials and methods. Use always past tense when you describe methodology, and focus should be only on the methods. Don't interpret the outcome of your methods. So these are the some key points which you need to remember. After materials and methods, the next part which comes, the next section which comes, it is result. The result section presents your data without any interpretation. So this particular section generally makes use of figures and tables, also subheadings. In figure and table, generally we display key or important findings and we refer to them in the text. In subheadings, you have to organize your result by experimental outcomes. So while writing this result also, some important tips we need to remember, such as here also we need to stay concise and we have to focus only on key findings, important findings of the research. Describe always data first and then direct the readers to the relevant figure or table. Also, while writing this result, we should use the past tense. Okay, so to understand this, in the presentation you can see right hand side the table has been shown, the table which is having the data of the nanoparticles, and the table is properly labeled. So by reading the table heading, you will understand it is what kind of data. The second example which is mentioned here, it is the image, that is nothing but TEM microgram, transmission electron microscopy micrograph of synthesized nanoparticles. So each and every figure should be always labeled with the name or that details of that particular figure. Okay, and also remember, whenever you write any experiment result, that time the result should be mentioned in the past tense. For example, ethanol extract exhibited a dose dependent inhibition of bacterial growth, and at a concentration of, that is the exact concentration you should mention in your result, of 50 microgram per ml, the inhibition zone was significantly greater than that of control group. Then the last part, it is discussion. In the discussion, interpret your results and relate them to previous research. Here we will see how to structure or how to organize the discussion. So discussion first includes interpretation, in which summarize your research key findings and discuss how they support or challenge your hypothesis. The second part which comes, it is comparison with the literature. Compare your research finding with those of other studies which has been already done. Then discuss the significance, which is nothing but broader implications of your results. After discussion of significance, don't forget to address any limitations and their potential impacts on your research. So this is also very important, that while discussing research, you should also discuss or you should also address the limitations in your research. Okay, and then lastly, in discussion, you can also suggest what all future studies or follow-up studies you can carry out with respect to the research which has been done. Okay, now whenever we write discussion, the correct tense is present tense. To use present tense for interpretation, be transparent about limitations, link the discussion back to the objectives which were earlier stated in the introduction. Now, for example, here, one important statement for the discussion which has been mentioned: the significant antimicrobial effect observed at 50 microgram per ml supports the hypothesis that citrus grandis extract has potential antibacterial properties. However, the variability in inhibition suggests further research to identify active compounds. I hope the statement is very much clear, that in this particular statement, they have also suggested what all follow-up research or study can be carried out for the given research data. Now, after discussion, the last section which comes, it is references. The reference section of your research paper includes all the sources you used when designing your study. This section is essential as it allows readers to find the original sources for the studies you cited. So we will see how to format each reference properly. So the first point which comes in references, it is order. Arrange references in alphabetical order by the last name of the first author. Do not rearrange authors on paper they should be listed in the exact order in which they appear in the source, that is nothing but in main research paper. So ordering, alphabetical ordering is very much important. The second point which is there, it is author names. Author names should be written with the last name first, followed by a comma, and then the first and middle initials. Always use initials, not full names. So you can see in the presentation one example which has been given. To indicate and use and symbol. Don't write the complete word and. So this is how you should write author names. Then the next important point which comes, it is year of publication. The year of publication goes in parenthesis immediately after the author's names. You can see name of the authors and in parenthesis the year of publication has been mentioned. There is no need to include the month or day, only year we have to mention here. Okay. Then the next part which comes, it is title of the paper. Okay. So title of the paper, write the title like a sentence. You can see here the complete title has been mentioned of the research paper. Only capitalize the first word and any word following a semicolon. Avoid italics, quotation marks in the title. So it is only the sentence case. In that manner, you should write the title of the paper. Okay. Then the next one which is there, next important component of references is journal information. For journal information class, follow important guidelines such as the journal name should be written in italics and capitalize each significant word. You can see here the journal name has been mentioned in italics. Then volume number. After journal name, please write volume number. Volume number also should be written in italics. Followed by volume number, the next number which is there, which we write in bracket or parenthesis, it is issue number. So place the issue number in parenthesis after the volume number. Then comes page numbers. List the page numbers as they appear in the original publication and not based on your own copy or own PDF which you have. So this is one example which has been given completely. In this you can see first the name of the authors. There were two authors, followed by that year of publication in parenthesis, followed by that the name of research paper, followed by that the name of the journal in which the research paper was published in italics, then volume number italics, issue number in parenthesis, and lastly the page numbers. Okay, so in this example you can see the name has been, it has been mentioned in italics. Then volume 45 also is in italics. The number 3 is not in italics but it is in parenthesis, and the original pages of the journal has been mentioned as page number. Okay, so if you follow all these guidelines, we can ensure that your references will be well organized, they are standardized, and it will be easy also for others to locate these references in the academic databases. So finally, in conclusion, we can say writing a research article, it may seem complex, but if you tackle it step by step, it becomes manageable. By understanding the structure and purpose of each section, you will be well equipped to share your research effectively. So remember, focus on clarity, detail, and organization, and you will be able to craft a compelling research article. So thank you everyone for listening and best of luck with your research writing journey.